It's the 20th anniversary of the Big Dig, and here in Saskatchewan, it was a big deal. That is when Wascana Lake in Regina was drained, dredged, and deepened by about 5 meters. The whole thing cost $18 million. And while it may seem kind of wild, keep in mind it wasn't the first time, because this is not a natural lake. It was man-made 150 years ago, and it was first drained in the 1930s.
Well, it was dredged out first in 1930 and 1931 as a relief project during the early years of the Depression. You see, the lake is fed by Wascana Creek, which starts about 70 kilometers that way to the east, and it brings with it a lot of silt.
Regina is one of the only major cities in North America that wasn't built on a major body of water. Another one? That's right, Las Vegas. Most cities were strategically located near water. And the question remains, in a province that brags about having more than 100,000 lakes and rivers, why wasn't Regina built on a natural body of water?
3 words, Canadian Pacific Railway.
The decision was made by William Cornelius Van Horn and Edgar Dewdney. They needed a convenient location for the rail line.
It was suggested that the new capital should be in the Qu'Appelle Valley. Van Horn thought that the grades there would be too steep for the railway, and so they chose a spot where the CPR main line crossed what was known as Pile of Bones or Wascana Creek.
But again, there's no river, no large body of water, just a little creek.
What's very interesting is that when Regina was announced as the new territorial capital, there's all kind of ridicule. And the one that I loved was one newspaper article describing Wascana Creek as, quote, an exaggerated ditch.
Yes, so in 1883, the creek was dammed, which formed a small lake that we now know as Wascana Lake. It was good enough for recreation, but you can't drink it. Drinking water is piped in from other lakes, and that's another thing that Regina has in common with Las Vegas.
And everything you see today, the volcano at the Mirage, the fountains at the Bellagio, the canals at the Venetian, the 2.25 million people who live in the vicinity who, like me, drink water and shower in it, bathe in it, and water desert plants with it, that water is coming from a man-made lake, Lake Mead.
Lake Mead is a reservoir formed by the Hoover Dam, which gets water from the Colorado River. It is drying up at an alarming rate, in part because of climate change. Pair that with a population boom, and Vegas could be in trouble. Could Regina be in trouble too?
We derive our water supply from Buffalo Pond Lake, which is filled from Lake Diefenbaker, which was created by building a dam on the South Saskatchewan River. So in fact, our water comes from Alberta. In fact, 60% of the people in Saskatchewan get their water from Lake Diefenbaker. It's unlikely, but it's not unthinkable that there could be a time when there's a drought that's so severe and so long that water levels drop to dangerous levels in Lake Diefenbaker.
If you want to learn more, check out our podcast, Good Questions Saskatchewan. You can find it on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.